Join us as we search Alaska and beyond for mysterious creatures, featuring Beans Baxter and Rob Roy Menzies. This is the Alaska Bigfoot Studies. All right, we're just missing Beans here. I got Rob Roy Menzies.
Where's Beans?
We are backstage at the Bigfoot Art Gallery because
look.
you have been so busy. I didn't realize you got a Christmas slam for framing.
You got to think framing, matting and framing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people that come in.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of procrastinators too.
Oh, last minute.
It really started in November, about over a month ago. We started getting Christmas stuff in.
Wow.
But yeah, I was really, really slammed. I was.
So here at the Bigfoot Art Gallery, one of the main things besides guitars is he does framing.
Yep.
And he's got a lot of his own Bigfoot art framed, and you can go to his Facebook page, the Bigfoot Art Gallery, and order prints that have been framed and sent to you wherever in the country you are.
That's right. So yeah, this is the shop. This is where I spend a lot of my time building frames and cutting glass and assembling the art. It gets really busy in here.
Yeah.
My office there I got a new couch, so I can spend the night here some nights if I have to. But yeah, this Christmas was really, really good, really overwhelming. So lots of people getting stuff framed.
Get a little break now.
Got a little break. I feel better. Thank God you're interviewing me now, because I'd be a wreck. 4 days ago, I would have been a wreck.
And you've got a spot for an expedition, so hopefully the next month or so we'll make a little mini expedition.
I guess every weekend I kind of go on my mini expeditions, if you want to call them that. I hike. That's my exercise, really.
Yeah.
But I take my dog out, and we go all over the place and follow some of these trails in there.
Very cool.
They're pretty cool. I love it.
We're going to do it. So I wanted to talk about these drones. It's all over the news for the last month or two.
Oh, yeah.
New Jersey drones.
Weird.
Yeah.
And is it me, or at this point, like right now today, does it seem like it's kind of died down?
No.
Oh, okay, because it's almost like I haven't been watching TV or something.
No, there's more podcasts about it, more people are filming them. And what's weird, some of them seem like conventional drones, except that they're the size of SUVs.
Yes, they're big.
They've got all these massive blinking lights, and they come from the ocean on the East Coast.
Well, it's like I'm getting mixed up, and I think everybody is, because we all know what a drone kind of looks like, even large drones.
Yeah.
And being that I worked for the FAA for a good 10 years, I know that drones, when you're legal, especially whoever's flying those drones that big, I think they're legal. I think they know what they're doing.
Right.
Whatever they're doing, I don't think our government wants us to know.
Right.
They've all got the blinking lights. That's mandatory from the FAA. That's one of the first things I look at when I see something in the sky that's odd. Is it blinking? Does it have a green and red or white blinking light? And a lot of those drones are just, you can see the blinking lights on them, like they're not weird blinking like plasma or something. They're actually like little beacons just blinking away. They look they kind of look drone-ish, or maybe, but they are large. But on top of that, we have the orbs too.
Yeah.
These orbs flying around, and I heard a couple people online calling them plasma. It looked like plasma.
Right.
And I don't know what to make of those. And then they're shooting at each other. I don't know if you've seen those.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's AI. There's people. I mean, it's gotten kind of out of control.
And then there's the classic UAPs that are
water.
Way high, going underwater.
Going underwater.
Moving fast.
Have you seen the footage of maybe a week ago? Somebody got one in the water. You can see it going in the underwater.
Yeah.
Like a little submarine or something.
There's a couple
really
of
fast.
them, all lit up.
I don't know. I can only assume. I've heard rumors, which may be some truth to it, is that they're nuclear sniffers.
Right.
There's some. We've got somebody has imported some unlawful nuclear bombs in our country.
Right.
And these things are sniffing them out.
Yep.
They're the governments.
That's an interesting
theory. That would be that would probably explain why we haven't heard anything from our government about this.
Right.
I don't even know what has Elon Musk said. I haven't really. You think he would chime in on this stuff, but I don't know if he said anything yet about this or not.
I haven't seen that. Yeah.
If he hasn't, it makes me wonder if he's involved somehow. He knows, or he's supplying the technology to sniff these out. It's just a wild theory.
Yeah.
But it's kind of grounded. I kind of like that theory because it kind of explains the drones.
Right.
Why New Jersey? Well, maybe they have intel that says they got it into New Jersey.
Right.
They smuggled these bombs into New Jersey. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's the other little things that are going on, and it seems to be mixing together. Now we got drones, we got orbs, we got things shooting across the sky. I mean, people are freaking out. It's kind of exciting, actually. But
I love it. Now, you had a sighting, a crazy UFO sighting
yeah,
that
I
you
did.
filmed, and what was that? 2002,
Oh
2005?
boy, no, that would have been later than that. That was only about 2018,
Okay.
I want to
Wow.
say.
So a few years
Oh,
ago.
recently, like 2018, 2017.
Okay.
Both my girlfriend at the time and I were both saw them. But this was, it was in the middle of the daylight. It was in June.
Right.
Walking on the Glen Highway, right next to the garbage dump. You know where
Okay.
that is.
Yeah.
Walking on that trail, the bike trail. There's people going on the bike back and forth. Planes are flying around. There's eagles flying around. There's seagulls flying everywhere. All of a sudden, something catches my eye in my peripheral vision.
Yeah.
And we're on the trail. It's kind of lower than the highway, and it's going up. So I'm looking actually up through the guardrail
Right.
to the sky. And I notice what looked like flashing lures is what I thought.
Wow.
I know they're seagulls, but those look like flashing lures. So
Yeah.
I had to stop. I had to stop and kind of adjust my, kind of looking through this guardrail and under this guardrail. What the hell am I seeing? Walk a little further. Now I've got a clear picture of it. And I'm like, I see them. And there's a cluster of maybe 12 to 14, maybe more,
Yeah.
of these lights that are in a circle, made like a circle.
Right.
And they were so small, though. They had to be way, way out there.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, there were jetliners flying.
Right.
Watching jets fly. These things were there.
Upper atmosphere.
Like, yeah, they were that small, almost where you had to look away from them to see them.
Wow.
They were so small.
Crazy.
But each one, okay, they're in a circle, but each one was looked like they were blinking,
Right.
and then it would stop blinking, and then it would reappear like in a different position in the sky and then start blinking again. And they were all doing that.
Yeah.
Blink, disappear, move over here, blink, this one blink. They're all doing this. And I said, Lynn, look. And she's like, what? I said, look. And she finally sees them. Really hard to see. And both of us were like 15 minutes or more stood there watching these, trying to decipher what they could be.
Right.
We went through paper. Is it paper? Like a whirlwind? Is there a tornado up there? And what is that? And after watching them for 15, 20 minutes, I mean, our necks were getting sore.
Yeah.
It was like in Home Depot looking at lighting,
Right.
you know, on that wall. You just, oh God, your neck. So these things are blinking. Eventually, they all kind of blinked out, like faded out, except for the center one
Right.
and another one on the right. The center one started going to the right. Not blinking, just solid, like a solid little orb, real hard to see. That's when I whipped out my iPhone and I took video of it. And you can see it. I've got the video of it. And it goes through a cloud and it just keeps going to the right until it just faded off.
How many times magnification did you use on it?
I think as much as I could.
So maybe
I think
three
it was
or
like
four.
iPhone 4, I mean,
Okay.
a 6, probably a 6.
So you had
or
probably
less.
3x.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's real horrible footage too.
Right.
I mean, you can see it. You can see the light, but it's kind of
Yeah.
shaky. It's that classic.
Right.
Not real because it was way far away, but you can see this little light going through the cloud and then coming
Yeah.
out and just keep flying.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the other one, while this one went to the right, this one went to the left, and it's like it changed its mind. It's just kind of stopped and then accelerated, like to get caught up to this guy.
Wow.
And then it faded out.
Crazy.
And so, we were not out looking for UFOs. We were just
Yeah.
out having a good time. It was a beautiful summer day, hiking on this trail. We're both listening to our music, and minding our own business. And I happened to catch that. And to this day, I don't know what it was. But I figured out when I watched, after about 10 minutes, I thought they were blinking.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking now, after watching, they looked like they were almost spinning in circles.
Wow.
Like squares, like a square object.
Yeah.
And the sun was to my right.
Right.
And it looked like the sun was glaring off that one side of them.
Wow.
But they were like, I don't know. They were spinning. I don't know. They were so far out there.
Yeah.
But that was my big kind of UFO sighting. Thank God Lynn was there because she witnessed the whole thing. If she was sitting with me,
yeah.
we'd be talking about it because it was unusual.
Yeah.
It was exciting too. I'm one of these guys that I read all these stories, but it never happens to me.
Right.
And there it is. And Just couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. So the next day, I went to that same spot with my camera and took a picture.
Okay.
And I was an animator. I was a
Right.
forensic animator for the FAA. So I did a little animation of it. I wanted to do it fast so I would not forget the details because it was so fresh in my mind.
Right.
And I did. I did this little flash animation. It's just 2D. But it's on my Rob Roy Menzies YouTube channel.
Okay.
If you guys are interested, you want to go there.
I'll throw a link in.
It's on there, and you can watch. I mean, it's all flash in, but it's exactly what I saw. Wow. Exactly what I saw.
Crazy.
It's a little quicker because the whole incident maybe took 20 minutes. I did this in maybe 3 or 4 minutes to speed it up a little bit.
Right.
To get to the part where the one went this way and the other one that way and switched. And then I do show the video. I show the clip of the orb in it. So it's out there. But like I said, I'm not a UFO guy. I kind of am, but I mean, I like to hear the stories, but that's the only experience I've had of UFO. Besides taking a picture, I think I got one once. I took something was moving around. I was taking pictures of the Northern Lights, and something moved from the top of the screen. I mean, and it spinning around. It's like a little kid with a brush.
Whoa.
It spun and spun and spun, went all the way down to the bottom. I was shooting vertically.
Yeah.
I tilted like a tripod, and I was taking the Northern Lights. Were brilliant that night. It was like 3 in the morning. I would just set the camera. I'd hit the timer, 10-second timer. Boom, shutter would open for like 20 seconds, and then turn off. So if you caught an airplane going by, it's really cool. You see this little streak about that long in your picture that's this big.
Yeah.
And you can tell. You see it's like blinking. You zoom in, you can see blinking lights. Well, this thing, now my picture was vertical like this. This thing started at the top of the picture and just
Weird.
all the way down to the bottom of the frame.
Yeah.
And it was still spinning around.
Crazy.
So that was a strange thing. I even showed it to my boss at the time. And
Yeah.
he was real when I told him about it.
At the FAA?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was a great guy. He was a commandeer for the Navy.
Okay.
So we used to have these long talks about UFO technology. And he would open up to us once in a while. He was a really high-ranking guy.
Right.
And I'd ask him, hey, Roger, who's got all the UFO? He would say, oh, no, the Navy's got or it was always somebody else. It wasn't the Seabees. He was a Seabee, but.
Right.
But anyway, I told him, I said, Roger, I got this picture. And these things, blah, blah. I explained to him what happened. He says, what did he say? He said, you got surfers. You got like tactical surfers.
Whoa.
Like, I guess they have these things. They surf in the freaking atmosphere.
Whoa.
I shouldn't be saying this, man. Roger's probably going, no!
Yeah.
Tomahawk missile blow this place up. But he, just from me verbally telling me, he says those are tactical surfers.
Tactical
for
surfers.
the Navy SEALs. That, really high end. They're on surfers. I'm like, what? I've never heard of this. I'm like, no, Rod, you got to see this. It's like, so I brought the file in and I showed it to him the next day. And he looks at it and, we're both in there looking on my monitor. We're both drinking coffee.
Yeah.
He's a very serious man. And I show him, I say, see, right here, Rod, see where it starts? And we're following and it's squiggling around. Now, keep in mind, this is 20 seconds of the frame being open.
Exposure.
So if it was a bug or something, it should only be about that long.
Right.
This thing went, it was squiggling all over the place. So he looks at it and he's like, you did get a UFO.
Whoa.
Just keep sitting. So
wow.
It's intriguing. I still have that picture of the original. So I guess I've had 2 little incidences, but it was the second one we actually, with my girlfriend at the time, we watched them.
Yeah.
It was pretty incredible. I was pretty stoked after that. I've never seen anything like that, so.
Love it.
Yeah, that's my 2 UFO stories.
And the 2018 coincides with like some of the Tic Tac sightings around that time.
Yeah, it was before that. It was a couple years before the government said anything. I mean, this was just an odd. I can't believe I saw them. When I first saw them, I swear they were brighter. Maybe they were. But they just faded out.
Interesting.
Like you're dimming a light.
Right.
Like they're all on the same light source, and they just slowly dimmed.
Wow.
It was odd, but super cool. Super cool.
Very cool. So check out the Bigfoot Art Gallery on Facebook, and you can even order prints of his original Bigfoot art and have them framed and sent to your house.
That's right.
So thanks, Rob.
Come see me.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Alaska Bigfoot Studies. Well, that was my visit with Rob at the shop just 2 days ago. And tonight we had a dinner that was just a meeting of the minds. So it was really cool. Beans came to town. So we had Rob Roy Menzies, Beans Baxter, myself, and also Daniel Becker from the Cryptid Wilderness Research podcast. And we are just planning expeditions, all kinds of amazing ideas. So really excited. Those are the main Bigfoot researchers of Alaska. All we needed was Fred Roll there and it would have been complete. So have to get together with that guy sometime. But anyways, we had a discussion over a wonderful meal talking about all this stuff with the drones. And for me, it's fascinating because I've been interested in UAPs and UFOs and all that for a while. We haven't had a lot of drone sightings. Sometimes I'll see something interesting that is flashing or pulsing. My buddy did have a really cool sighting that was like a pulsing type of UAP that pulsed a few times and shot off. Once in a while, I'll see something that's like a drone because there's a very specific corridor in Anchorage, Alaska, because we are literally, the city limits is touching a massive Air Force base. So there's a small corridor where aircraft can fly. And when I see something outside of that corridor, it just kind of makes me wonder. But over the last year and a half, I have some kind of interesting sightings myself. I did see a light in Turnagain Pass that was just bizarre. It came off the mountain, very bright, no pulsing, and I just couldn't explain it. It made no sound, and it seemed to be pretty high in the atmosphere, large spheres. So a few different sightings we've had, but we all agree that the drones with the contemporary flashing, and even if they're the size of a SUV, they still have rotors. They're making some noise at times. Those are some kind of very advanced drones, where the UAPs, such as a Tic Tac that can go 50,000 feet to sea level in a second and do all these amazing things and stay up for days with a whole fleet of them. That is not any kind of drone technology. That is a UAP that I believe is from outside our world or our existence. So as a UFO researcher, it is just fascinating to hear all these stories out of Ohio and New Jersey with all these drones, and then mixed in with the UAP that are capable of even more than the drones. So what a fascinating time to be alive, and I do believe it will be coming to a head at some point near in the future, and we're going to find some stuff out, because it's just really odd that suddenly this is happening. So let me know what you guys think about it all. Sound off in the comments. We got some good stuff happening in 2025. Lots of Bigfoot expeditions, so I'm very excited. Thanks, guys. It's Chuke, your friend in the field.